Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Today we are going to be ranking all the Croydon updates since 1.3 on a little tier list here. Our categories are game changing, awesome, not bad, not great, and what was the point? What was the point basically meaning like what was the point in making it an update? Now, a few things before we get started. First of all, it's quite a hot day here in the UK, so I have my window wide open. So if you hear any background noise, it's that. Try to ignore it. I'll try and, if there is anything, I'll try and edit it out. Second, more about the video. I'm doing it since 1.3 because we don't really know what the game was like before 1.3. Unless you played it, of course. There are no very, very few images of pre 1.3 Croydon, and yeah, also that's when the Discord started, just before 1.3, so it showed us all the previews. That's where it showed us images, but there's really nothing you can find before 1.3. Also, what do I mean by update? Well, you have major updates like 1.3, 1.3.1, 1.3.2 redefined, but you've also got pack additions, new vehicles, new routes, or just sound upgrades, stuff like that. So that's what we've got here today, or just quality of life upgrades in general. So this is going to be quite a long video by the looks of it, so without further ado, let's get going. Okay, so let's start off with 1.3. Croydon 1.3 introduced 100 new vehicles. Most of those were Enviro 400 variants, but there were also Enviro 400 MMCs, street decks, Gemini 3s, street lights, I think Gemini 3 Mark 1, and I believe that's it, but I probably missed out a couple. And the Enviro 400 EV, that got introduced as well. As well as the map extension that got Selhurst, we got Norwood Junction, I think, did we get Thornton Heath High Street as well? So it's that area basically. Now, I actually didn't play this game when 1.3 came out. I started playing this game just after 1.3 came out, so I'm not too sure what it introduced. But looking at the Discord and the images released, I think that was the main update. Now, it did seem like a very game-changing update, considering there is literally no images of the game before, and then obviously it increased in popularity after 1.3 came out, so I am going to put it in game-changing. Next up, we have, just after 1.3 was released, we have the addition of the Pride Pack. Now, the Pride Pack is a paid pack that contained 3 buses, the street deck, Enviro 400 and Enviro 400 MMC, all featuring a Pride livery. It's just a small pack, I don't think it's too expensive, it's still in the game now. So yeah, it was just existing vehicles in a Pride livery. Now, I don't actually own this pack myself, personally, just because I don't think it's worth it, considering it has the same vehicles in it, just in a different livery. But more new content, just a new livery. I'm going to put it in not bad. Next up, we have the addition of the Manchester pack. I think this is Croydon's largest pack. This was introduced just a little bit, I think around the same time as the Pride pack. It features some very different vehicles, like the Gemini 1B9TL and the Pulsar 2, just to name a couple. But there are also some other vehicles like the street deck in the B Network livery and an electric Solo SR. So this is a good pack. It has a lot of liveries, a lot of different vehicles. I'm gonna put it in awesome. Just after this, we had the E200 MMC remodel. So the remodeled E200 MMC started rolling out as part of the 2023 Christmas event, and eventually over the coming months it started rolling out to everyone and eventually all the 200mmCs were remodeled. However, not all of them were remodeled perfectly. A lot of, especially the Croydon coach variants, had missing rear indicators and missing blinds on them. So they were remodeled, but not perfectly remodeled. So therefore, I'm going to put this in not great. Next up was a pretty game-changing update. The introduction of simulation servers. Now this was game-changing because it introduced a whole other server that you had to that you could only access with Croydon Plus for realistic driving. Everyone has to drive realistically, and you'd get banned if you didn't drive realistically. Now the OG sim servers, which had collisions, and there was basically just the same rules. But then, as I mentioned in a very old video that I might remake because that was literally my first video and I hate it. As I mentioned in that video, simulations have gone downhill a lot, but the OG simulation servers when they first came out were amazing. So I'm going to put it in game changing. Next up, we have the introduction of selecting a route from the home screen. Now, if you are an OG Croydon player like me, you'll remember every time you had to start a route, or if one of your favourite routes was really far away from the depot, you'd have to drive all the way across the map, not in service, to get to the start of the route, and it'd be very annoying. Now, yeah, that's realistic and what you have to do in real life, but this is a game. We're all lazy. So introducing this route selector in the home screen was another pretty game-changing feature and a massive improvement to the overall quality of life. This is going to go in awesome. Same can't be said for this next one, which is also one of the reasons simulation servers started to go downhill. No stop zones. I despise no stop zones, and it is one of the worst, if not the worst feature in simulation servers anyway, maybe even the entire game. Simulation servers are meant to be a realistic feature. So what's realistic about making your bus go see-through and letting people pass through your bus after being in an area for 30 seconds or more? That ain't realistic. So I know it is to sort of improve and reduce traffic jams and stuff like that. But where's the realism? If someone gets stuck in real life, then a traffic jam happens, and you just got to deal with that. And, stuff like that happens in like OMSI 2 and stuff, and you just got to deal with it. So putting this feature in, extremely unrealistic, stupid feature, especially when I'm waiting at roadworks on the 450 or something, and the roadworks are in a no stop zone, and I end up going past through even though there's nobody else there. It's a stupid feature, I hate it. So it's going in, what was the point? No, not great. What was the point? Okay, officially going back to the good updates now. 1.3.1 is our next update. Yes, we've done a bit of a jump now, but 1.3.1 is our next update, and this was a huge update. This has been, I think this was in development for just about a year, I want to say. Yeah. This introduced 75 new Enviro 200 variants, as well as a massive map expansion to South Croydon. This was a massive update. It was a really good update. I remember this being the first major update that had happened since I started playing the game, and I was buzzing. The only little nitpick I have about this update is the fact that when the Enviro 200s dropped, they were ridiculously expensive. I'm talking like 15,000 credits. And obviously, since I was a bit of a noob at the game, I didn't have a lot of credits, and when the update came out, I couldn't drive any of the new Enviro 200s. But overall, the update itself is really good. I'm going to put it in awesome. Next up, another pretty big jump, but not a year gap this time. I think this released in November. We have 1.3.2. Now, this was more of a quality of life update, if you know what I mean. This got a refreshed menu, refreshed UI, it got rebranded companies and adverts on buses as well. But it also did introduce some new vehicles as well, those being the Evo City Enviro 300 ZF and the Enviro 200 MMC 6-cylinder for companies. So this was a pretty well, it was a pretty good update, yeah. I can't really complain about it. It was more quality of life upgrades, and I'm all for it. This is going in awesome as well. Next up, jumping over to February 2025, we have the Enviro 200 EV update. Now, the Enviro 200 EV was also first introduced in the 2023 Christmas event, but was only obtainable then and disappeared afterwards. So for nearly 2 years, well no, just over a year, sorry. Yeah, for just over a year, if you missed that Christmas event, you couldn't get the Enviro 200 EV. Until then, on February 1st, the Enviro 200 EV released, and alongside it, a tiny little map extension. We also saw an extension of Norwood Junction. It was very small, very subtle, but it was something, and I was all for it. I was quite happy with it. But it was quite a small update, so I'm going to put it in not bad. Next up, we have sort of where the direction for all of Croydon's updates shifted completely. And this was scrapping 1.3.3 and 1.4 for the smaller updates. Now this did change the entire direction of Croydon. Instead of having big updates, we have these small little rollouts instead now. Now obviously that didn't last long, because a couple of months later all this redefined shenanigans started and we didn't get an update for about 6 months. So yeah, but the idea was good and it worked for the couple of months that it was a thing, and it is kind of a thing now again after Croydon redefined, so I'm going to put it in not bad. So next is the first sort of experimental update after this new announcement, and that was sound and indicator improvements to the B5LH Gemini 2. Now I do think it was in need of sound improvement, especially the indicators. The indicators have that new realistic sound that most Gemini 2s and 1s and 3s have, and the actual engine sounds like it's about to fall out any second, which is very realistic for the B5LH Gemini 2, so I'm going to put it in not bad. Okay, moving on, we have the release of the E200 Dart and Street Vibe for custom companies. It was great to actually see custom companies finally get some love again, getting 2 new vehicles. The vehicles themselves could have been better, I suppose, like in just terms of the choice of vehicles. I really don't like the Street Vibe, to be honest, and I feel like we've seen enough of Enviro 200s after 1.3.1. However, some new custom company buses, I was all for it, and they were not too expensive either. In fact, some of the cheapest custom company buses you can get, so I'm going to put this also in not bad. Next up, we have the Cycle Shuttle update. This was probably the most underwhelming update Croydon has ever released. I did make a video on that about a year ago when it did release, calling it Croydon's most underwhelming update, and I still stick by that opinion. Yeah, I mean, it introduced a new Enviro 200 EV livery, not even a new vehicle, just one livery, and a new route, and we all thought, oh, a new route, that's interesting. Turns out you can only drive the route if you were driving the correct livery in the E200 EV, and also the route was about 1 stop long. So what was the point? Exactly. So I'm going to put this in what was the point. There was no need for a whole separate update for this. This could have just been like a little patch update or a tiny mini update, not a full update. There was just no need. Now, moving from one extreme to the other, we've gone from the most underwhelming update to probably the most overwhelming update, Croydon Redefined. This was obviously the most game-changing update the game has ever seen. It introduced suspension physics, a graphics update, remodeled ALXs, countless new vehicles, route extensions, new routes, new features. Honestly, it goes on. I don't need to say much about this. This is obviously going in game-changing. Now, about a day after Croydon Redefined was released, we got a couple more like scraps of Croydon Redefined that I guess which just wasn't finished in time. Those include these 4 new ALX 400 variants here. Now, I mean, yeah, more variants. Totally, like, we weren't overwhelmed enough with the update, but can't complain at more variants, so this is going in not bad. 4 new road events were also introduced as well, and once again, more overwhelming stuff, but I do like road events, so this is actually going in awesome. Okay, not too many to go now. This isn't gone as long as I thought it did. Let's keep it going. Okay, so next up we have the Optare Versa update. This introduced an Optare Versa for, I don't think it was for all companies, but if it was for most companies. It was also introduced for custom companies, but there were no collector's editions for this particular bus. Now, personally, I'm not too keen on the Optare Versa, but it was good. It's always good to see some new vehicles come into Croydon. But since I'm not too keen on the Versa, I'm going to go in not great. Next up is the Pointer 2 update. This came not too far after the Versa. Now, unlike the Versa, I do quite like the Pointer 2, and the detail that came with this bus was exceptional. All of them had working brake lights. They all had sort of rusty paint peeling off of the bars inside, and also it had exhaust fumes, which no other vehicle in the game has, and they haven't brought back in any of the vehicles after the Pointer, which I wish they did, especially with the Olympian. But anyway, the Pointer, because of its like exceptional detail, is going in awesome. Next up, we had the introduction of the 197. Now, this introduced a new route, obviously, and a new bit of the map, as well as a new custom company terminus, which was Woodside Green. I think the map extension was about a mile, just about a mile, and it was just connecting Lower Addiscombe Road to the top, to Woodside Tram Stop. It was just an extra road, but it did bring a lot more into the game, like, you know, an entire new area and a custom company terminus. And I'm all for a good map extension, so it's going to go in awesome. Next up is the Croydon Christmas event. Now, I was considering whether to actually put this as an update or not, but I did remember it did introduce new content into the game, so therefore it's an update. That's my view on it anyway. So this event brought 3 new electric vehicles into the game, the IE Tram, BD11 and the Electroliner. All 3 are very nice vehicles, but if you miss the event, you can't get them. I don't know if they're going to come back, I don't know when they're going to come back, but you can't get them. But for those who do have them, very nice vehicles. I have all 3 of them, and I can't complain. And the Electroliner has the performance of a high-end sports car, and I love it. So this is going to go in awesome. Next up is the Volvo Olympian update. Now, this was an interesting one because not only did this update bring a new bus, it also got some map upgrades. So when the Olympian was released for Pro Pack users, we also got a Cherry Orchard Road refurbishment, which was unexpected but also very nice. So for the Pro Pack release and the Cherry Orchard refurbishment, I'm going to put that in not bad. So we all thought, right, well, they're going to release the Olympian for everybody else later, for non-pro users, and then nothing else is going to happen. No, they weren't done there. When they released the Olympian for non-pro users, aka, you know, all the other companies, they decided, you know what, let's just extend Shirley as well. So now we have that massive hill that goes from Shirley to Coombe Lane. And I do personally love that map extension because of the challenging hill that you have to go up. And it's always fun to see whether your clapped out old Volvo Olympian will make it up there. And it's always fun to overtake other broken down players on it as well. So I do love that, and it's going in awesome. Okay, just 2 more to go. Next up is the Omnidecker update, which was the most recent published update. It introduced obviously the Omnidecker, but unlike the Olympian, which was I was kind of expecting like another map upgrade or another map extension, but no. When the when the Omnidecker was released, no map upgrade or extension. I was like, okay, that's cool, but at least we still got the Omnidecker. But this was sort of questionable for me. First of all, when the Omnidecker was released for Pro Pack, that was all good, but it's quite expensive. It's like 9,000 credits. And then when it was released for non-pro users, the only company you could get them was Go Travel, and the rest were collector's edition with questionable prices, to say the least. So I'm gonna put this in not bad. Okay, and our final update is the Croydon Town Centre refurbishment. Now, the update isn't actually out yet, but it has been announced, and you're probably thinking, hang on, Town Centre was refurbished in Croydon Redefined. Well, this is the other part of the town centre, Park Street and Croydon Flyover, which are specifically getting the upgrades. Now, from the images I've seen, it looks really good, but obviously it's not out yet, so I can't give my full opinion on it just yet. But I must say it is a much needed refurbishment, and I can't wait for it to release. So therefore, I'm going to put it in awesome. Well, that is it. That is all the updates since Croydon 1.3 all the way to the town centre refurbishment. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know if there's any small updates I may have missed out. I did spend about an hour scrolling through the entire dev updates, the dev update section on the Discord, just to look at every single update and see, right, is this one worthy of being in the video or not? But yeah, these are the ones I selected. Let me know if there's any I might have missed out on that you have wanted to see on the tier list. And I think that's everything. Let me know if you agree with the tier list. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. And I'm nearly at 400 subscribers, so I would love it if you could help me achieve that milestone. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.